Hey YouTube world, and hey to my Neville Nation. I know you're out there. So welcome to my channel, or welcome back to Neville Girl Forever, where we discuss and explore all things Neville Goddard. I invite you to follow me on my journey as my dream life unfolds, and I want to help support you on your journey to your dream life. So whether you are new to Neville, if you are, hang in there with me, it will all eventually click and make sense. If you are, or if you're somewhat familiar or even seasoned in Neville Goddard material and his techniques, but are looking for added support or a journey member, I'm your girl. Because I went through years and years studying law of attraction, hard. And with certifications, life coaching, all that stuff, with very little results with law of attraction. And then I discovered Neville, and my whole life changed basically overnight. And now I want to help you do that too. So with all that said, let's get into today's topic, which is Neville Goddard, or was he, because he passed away, I believe, in 1972. Is he a genius, or was he a genius, or was he delusional? Make your comments below. I'm going to say my answer is both. He was both a genius and delusional, but not in that delusional sense that we use the negative connotation for today's standards. And I'm going to explain to you why. And I'm going to challenge you, or at least encourage you, to consider being the same version of genius and delusional as Neville was. And I'm going to read something to you, and that hopefully that inspires you in a way. So I came across this audio, because there's a lot of audios out there with Neville, and it was perfect for this topic, and I love it. So here we go. So this is Neville speaking. Love it. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Now envision your most cherished desires or desire. What do you see? How does it feel? Can you taste it, touch it, smell it? This vision, this feeling is not just a dream. It's reality waiting to unfold. And I once stood where you stand now, yearning and hoping. So that was Neville saying that, wondering if my deepest desires would ever materialize. But then I stumbled upon a truth so profound. I love this because this is how I feel. So profound, so formative or transformative that it altered the very fabric of my existence. So it's this truth. The power to manifest our desires lies not in some external force, but within us, in our ability to act as if our desires are already real. My handwriting's not the best, so forgive me, but there's more. Think back to a time that you achieved something that you had thought impossible. Perhaps it was landing your dream job, buying your first home, or overcoming a fear that had held you back for years. In those moments leading up to your success, how did you carry yourself? What thoughts were going through your mind? Chances are that you walked and talked and thought as if your goal was already accomplished. This, my friends, is the essence of manifestation, or what we would say actually a law of assumption. But he continues on. It's not about wishing upon a star or reciting empty affirmations. We all know about that. Just reciting affirmations, but affirmations are good, just Neville style. So he goes on to say, it's about embodying the reality you wish to create. And it's about aligning your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions with the life you desire for the here and now. Okay, and why does this work? Yeah, why does it work? Can simply acting as if bringing your own desires into being, like, how can it work? The answer lies in the incredible power of your subconscious mind. Our subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. And that's the key with the SATs. Vividly imagine. It's back to the feelings, the sensations, the smells. So, he goes on to say, when we consistently act as if our desires are already real, we are essentially programming our subconscious mind to accept this new reality. Essentially programming our mind for this reality. So consider the shy person. And I love this example. I do, because it's a neutral topic for most people. Not all. I was shy at one point, but consider the shy person. Over time, taking steps, actions, they can replace this persona, right? So you can become unshy over time, right? And I know this because I did that myself. I didn't know that was going to be part of the transcripts, but there it is. So he uses that to say it's just like that in every area of your life. Just like the person who wants to become wealthy, start managing your money and acting as a wealthy person would. What would you wear? What would you think? And, he's really big on inspired action. But he asks those questions. So this is good. There's a little bit more. If you desire a loving relationship, treat yourself and others with love and respect. And he gets really into these topics. This is a light touch on it all. But, there's things about it where it's like you put that on. What does it feel like to be in a loving relationship? And we're going to start to dive into the meat of it all. But these are important questions, right? So make decisions and take action even before it has unfolded, which is what we're talking about, even like in sales. So just start to walk and talk the talk, which again can sound delusional, right? But it's a part of manifesting your dreams. So here's the part where I love, he says, like, he can almost hear and how almost like all the skeptics are saying, isn't this self-delusion? Aren't we just fooling ourselves? And to that, this is what he has to say. So to that I say, what is reality? And if it's not the sum of our beliefs and perceptions. Every great achievement in history began as a thought, an idea, a vision that seemed impossible until it wasn't. Yep. I love Neville. So, and he has examples, and this is kind of for back at his time, but they're still relevant. Some of y'all might be familiar with these names, some not. But consider the Wright brothers. Before their successful flight, the idea of human flight was considered a foolish dream by most. But they acted as if it was possible. They studied the birds, built models, and conducted experiments. They lived and breathed their vision. They acted as if, right? Until it became a reality that changed the world from it. So, in all the possibilities of what their experience could have come out, they were holding on to that version in the multiverse, in our simulation, in the matrix. That was the vision they were holding. And that's what I'm inviting you to do as well. As we go forward with things we cover on this channel. And then there's also Benjamin Bannister, who finally shattered the record for running under 4-minute mile, because for years it was believed it was not possible. But Benjamin did not just train his body, he trained his mind. I love that. So he visualized breaking the barrier and acted as if it was possible. So is what Neville talking about so delusional after all? The most successful people who've accomplished something started with a dream, with a vision. You follow through, and I don't think it's that thing where you just wake up and say, okay, what would a wealthy person do? No, it's deeper than that. And that's why, that's the catch, in my opinion. Okay, let me know what you think. But that's why SATs is so important, because you don't want to wake up saying, what would a wealthy person do today? That would tell me that the SATs has not fully done its thing, because once you've lived in the end, and everything is about going to the end, and once you've experienced the wealth, you wake up feeling wealthy. And from that position of already being wealthy, your brain starts thinking new thoughts, and you get inspirations for certain actions. Not always, because he was really big on not taking action unless it was an inspired action, and all those don't always make sense as far as when, and we'll do a video on that too. There's so much to go over with Neville. It's never ending. I love it so much. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just start walking it out, but from the place that you've already been there, and it's covered, like, it's tricked your subconscious mind. It cannot distinguish the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. Imagine that. Imagine that. When that started clicking in for me, oh my gosh, it started to just become so real. So some days I just wake up thinking about, there's the life I'm walking out, which is old residual energy. And then I know what my other world is about, what my dreams are. And I'm just waiting for them to unfold, because God, universe, spirit has to find a way to weave it into your life naturally. It'll always make sense. It'll be surprising how it comes, but but it makes sense, and it's always amazing. So there's so much for that, but I wanted to add some points onto this. So delusional. Studying all of this with the law of assumption, Neville, maybe to some, it might be delusional. Yep. Until they see that your life and your dreams are unfolding and it's coming true. And it's hard to even explain. Everybody asks, what's happening? And it's like, well, there's this guy, Neville. I found this prayer. And I don't know. It's like, it was cool and all, but it also wasn't making sense. They were just happy. Like, my friends were happy for me. So what Neville will go on to say is, this is not about positive thinking. It's about feeling the feelings, and it's about positive being. Take inspired action, and we just talked about that, when you feel it. And so we'll do more videos on that. So that, my friends, is why I fell in love with Neville Goddard. I mean, his teachings, his techniques, is because it actually works. It actually works. And if you follow Dr. Joe Dispenza, I love him. And I hadn't followed his stuff, so this is interesting. I hadn't followed him. I have friends who did, but I started coming across some like YouTube shorts or whatever, and oh my gosh, he explains all of the modern day science to back up everything that Neville was talking about and teaching. They were 67 years apart, so to speak. I saw like a meme on that. But they're two thought leaders with the same message. It's just, Dr. Joe Dispenza is, I think, a little bit more mind-body health focused, but he will discuss in great detail, even in a short, what is the science behind what Neville's talking about. And I love that. So although Dr. Joe Dispenza does more like mind-body health connection, he's still talking about that you apply it to like love, wealth, just whatever else. But he's talking about the science, and it blows your mind when you see that. Check it out sometime. Tell me if you don't agree. I just think it's amazing. So back to Neville. Because that's what we're here for. This is a Neville channel after all. And if you don't get this all yet, it'll come to you as we unpack more things on this channel. But when I look back on all of my own personal best successes and some of the best, most amazing things that I created and achieved over time, or things that I overcame, I've now come to realize that I was somehow tapped into a part of this Neville way of thinking and doing, but without knowing it, or understanding it, or why it turned out so amazing at the time, right? And so I didn't have a recipe. I didn't have a formula to follow. And so, you can't repeat that, right? If you don't know what you did right, it was hit or miss. I just must have somehow tapped into my higher self or my soul, or just was burning with a passion at a moment and going with the flow. I don't know. And I'll share some success stories from the way past, which led me to make me feel confused, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, I was able to manifest this, but why all this other, like I said, I went through like 10 really rough years. And so now with Neville, he's given me a formula. He's given you a formula. We now have a formula, a recipe. I'm a foodie, so I love the idea of a recipe, but we have something to follow for success, a formula for success. So that we can consistently win at life and live our dream life. Yes, people. Yes. So now, you know, I'm no longer looking back and wondering how I did it, how it happened, both good and bad. Now I know. Like, I was able to like go back and go, wow, okay, this is why it worked, or this is why it didn't work. And Neville helps you understand that. And again, for those of you who are new, this will start to make sense because I'm just starting to dive into things. So let's face it, we are here for results. And there's so many things I don't ever want to go through again, right? And the results, if they're totally amazing, you want to know how you can rinse and repeat. I do. Yep, I do. And so, if you're watching me, I'm pretty sure that that's what you are here for too, results. So, I mean, I know I can be charming and fun, and I can tell a fun story of a way with words at times. So that adds to some of the fun of discovering Neville and unpacking Neville and his teachings, but we are here for results. So consider me, yours truly, your flight attendant and your part travel agent on this journey to your dreams. Like, Neville is your pilot, your captain, so to speak. And all you have to do is to know what you want to create and to manifest. You know, apply Neville's techniques rigorously. We'll talk about that. It's easy, but it's rigorous. You really want to pay attention all day to what you're thinking about, and we'll go over that. And then watch the magic unfold. So friends, you know, if you're ready for the ride of your life, next videos we're gonna start to get way more specific. But if you're ready for the ride of your life, if you're ready for your dreams to unfold, and some of you already have your dreams unfolding, you know what I'm talking about, and you're just wanting also someone that you can relate to, you know, a travel partner, journey member, because that was me. You know, I started talking, my friends asked me about Neville, and they thought it was cool and all, but there's only so much they wanted to hear or understand about it. And I realized that I needed my own Neville community where we could talk about it, hash it out, and just have a place where we could talk positively and share, a safe community, a powerful place where it's safe to express, you know, the amazing things and actually how it happened. So, that is what I wanted to share about today, about whether Neville was genius or delusional, because I think he was both. And there obviously is so much method to his madness. And I'm still learning Neville, because as much as I've learned and understand, I wanted to learn everything right away. And I did so much. But every success and everything that unfolds, or I come across a new audio, or I read another, you know, book or another chapter of his, it just gets more and more amazing. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my message, and until the next time, bye.